Welcome back to 33-year-old boomer ranting in the woods, ranting in his grandma's house. What is the best programming language to learn in 2026 to get a good job quick? Let's talk about it. I was watching a clip from one of Jonathan Blow's streams earlier today, where he was talking about what should you do if your first job in programming is just doing JavaScript, if it's just doing basic CRUD applications all day. And his advice was unironically that you should just find a better job. Now, I'm in a position where I have a kind of a weird background with programming. I started learning how to program when I was like 7, and then I took this weird detour when I did music and all sorts of stuff. Now, even though I was doing the side quest, in my spare time, I just kept defaulting back to programming. 2013, I was learning Java using Eclipse. Oh, how foolish of me, I know. I didn't know any better. But a while ago, I decided that I was going to get really, really good at programming, specifically low-level stuff. So, systems programming, kernel programming, maybe embedded, like that kind of field. And in order to get good at that level of programming, you just have to know a lot more. You have to be the kind of programmer that other programmers think is a nerd. Like web devs have to call you a nerd, is what needs to happen if you want to be at that level. And the reality is that the best programming language to learn, having that attitude, is a fantastic way to never get anywhere. You see, when you ask such a question, and I do understand that there are financial, economic pressures on people, and you want to figure out a reasonably quick path to making a good income. I completely understand that. However, there is something about this question which implies that you're not particularly interested in programming. You just want to do it for the money. Now, I think that, in my humble opinion, I think that there are far too many people in the industry who are like that, who just want a paycheck, who aren't particularly interested, who just want to make some money. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to make some money. But if you want to make some money, I don't think that programming is the place to do it in. Because now that AI is a thing, it's only going to get more complicated and more difficult. Because the new standard will be whatever the LLM can do. And the people who I think are going to flourish and do really well are going to be the kind of people like me, who are kind of autistic, we become autistically fixated on things, like those trees over there, some birds. Hello, bird. You alright? You doing okay? Sorry, I got distracted. Look, if you have like a little bit of autism, you want to really go down really deep into niche topics, like how computers work, how is memory allocated, what is the point of the kernel, what does the kernel do? Does the kernel mean like this sort of kernel, or does it mean like this sort of kernel? Spoiler alert, it's this sort of kernel. Even though the name could technically kind of work for both, but it's supposed to be like the kernel, whatever. You get it. Like, once you start learning how this stuff works at a fundamental level, you just become a better engineer. Now, for me, I've always had a fascination with low-level stuff. I remember when I was a kid, I installed it was an app kind of like Cheat Engine. I think it was called T-Search or something. And you could use it to look into the memory of a running application so that you could give yourself more gold in video games. So, or infinite life. And that was when I was introduced to the idea that computer, like the stuff in memory that you can just manipulate however you want, and you can actually manipulate the way in which applications work if you really want to. You can hack them. You can hack the planet. And as I learn more about computers, as I get into hundreds of pages, like I'm what, on my second book now. I have I'm going through a lot of books on system programming, how computers work. I'm going deep on C++. And I have thousands and thousands of pages that I need to learn, understand, and just comprehend, just grok. And the more I read, the more interested I become, which is interesting, because you'd think that there'd be some sort of satiety that happens. That might happen at some point, but the more I learn, the more I go, wow, hey, that's pretty good. It's pretty interesting. And I want to learn more. And this is the kind of person that you're going to have to deal with if you want to become an engineer in the current year, insert current year, current underscore year in curly braces. That's the kind of autist that you're going to be competing against. You're going to be competing against people who learn how memory works for fun. And look, I'm not being mean-spirited. If you want to make money, there are plenty of avenues to do so. I don't think that programming is for everyone. And I think that if your entire approach is what is the minimum amount of stuff that I can learn to make 6 figs and then stop learning, I think you're in trouble. I think you're cooked. I think you're in deep trouble. Especially when it comes to people like me. Right now I'm doing this challenge, this thing where I'm learning how to program the way that the boomers did. So I'm reading books and documentation and writing C. I'm avoiding AIs, I'm avoiding Google. I might on very rare occasions Google, if I'm really, really stuck and I just can't find the answer in a book, I might very rarely ask Google something, and the way that I'll think of it is I'm a boomer at Berkeley or MIT in the 70s or 80s, and I'm asking the professor something because I just can't find it in the library. I'm treating it like that. Google is my professor that I can periodically annoy with questions. But I'm limiting that very, very strictly. For example, since I started this challenge, a week or so, 2 ago, I've yet to use Google for this purpose. And the goal for me personally is over the next 6 months, 6 or 7 months, I want to see where I'm at. If I really study, if I really give it my all, if I spend less time watching stuff on YouTube and more stuff reading books, more time reading books, how cracked can I get? And so far, I'm only a week and a bit in, and I already know so much more. What have you been doing over the past? You've been watching anime, haven't you? I envy you, I get it. I like anime too. But the question is, what do you want to do with your life? Do you want to be good at stuff? You want to be good at something? And the people who just want to learn JavaScript to make 6 figures, they've already gone. They're no longer watching this video. Bye-bye, they've all left. It's just us autists left watching. And so my question to you is, what do you want to do with your life? Do you want to get really good at stuff? Do you want to get really good at programming? Well, the way in which you do that is by programming. Turns out. I know. Classic answer. How'd you get better at basketball? By playing basketball? How'd you learn more about, how'd you get better at programming? by learning and putting things into practice. Oh yes. Like, it's a really beautiful feeling. So I've been working on the spell checker for a little while, written in C. And I made a video about it a little while ago, and I'm actively working on improving it, making it really based, so I can show it off on GitHub, get some stars. Please like my GitHub repo, please. And and it's a beautiful feeling. I'm being serious. It's a beautiful feeling when you don't look at your code for like a few days, and you just read and practice and work on like smaller things, right? And then it's pretty interesting lighting. And then you revisit the source code that you wrote mere days ago. And you're already refactoring it because you've learned so much. You already know, you can instantly spot little goofs that you made, little mistakes that you've made. And you can instantly fix the code. And then a week later you can repeat that and you can make it even better. You're actively leveling up in real life. There is no better feeling than that, my dude. Also, there's a little bird's nest. Can I show it to you without doxing? Yeah, there we go. It's a little bird's nest right there. That's pretty nice. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.